Welcome everyone to another episode of Perspective with Chris and Company. I'm your host, Christian Dries. My guest today is an aspiring pro boxer with plenty of accolades in her amateur career. Her name is Amanda Sendejo. Amanda, thank you so much for being here with me today.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it and I'm excited.
Most definitely. I think this is a super cool perspective, right? Boxing, a sport that has been popular for a very long time. So I'm excited to get to know your story and let's just get into it. For the viewers that don't know who you are, tell them a little bit about yourself. Not necessarily just boxing, but about who you are.
Of course. I'm Amanda Sendejo. Once again, thank you for having me. I'm 24 years old, just turned 24. I'm from Floresville, Texas, a little south of San Antonio, and I graduated from UTSA. Okay. So I'm a college graduate, first gen, and then now I'm just pursuing my sport of boxing.
Nice. And what about boxing got you into it?
So I grew up with two older brothers. It's usually what I tell everyone. And once I say that, they're like, oh, okay, that makes sense, right? Yeah. We do have a big age gap. So growing up, when they were competing, I was just little, running around the gym, watching fights growing up, going to tournaments. So I kind of was just in the lifestyle a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I think once I picked up the sport, I played all kinds of sport growing up. I was mainly a basketball player, cheerleader. And then once I tapped into boxing, I realized that one-on-one competitiveness is really what fit me perfect, just because it was like no matter how I looked or how tiny I was, like, or even just being real feminine as a girl, like at the end of the day, whoever worked harder in the ring was going to win. And I think that's why it really stuck with me, and it has till this day.
That's cool. I didn't think of it as a one-on-one. It's just you and another person.
Absolutely.
Right? What are some things that you've learned throughout your amateur career? Before we get into that, how long have you been boxing?
I started when I was 17, so I put on gloves. It's been some time ago, but I've been like taking it seriously and competitively, like competing for about, I'd say like 4 years already, where I'd known this is like really what I want to do.
And I know that in a lot of sports, right, it translates into real life. What about boxing? Lessons that you've learned that kind of keep you motivated in it?
Yeah, so I think definitely mentally and spiritually I've been able to kind of combine the two. I'm very religious, always grew up like that. I think just being able to tie my religion to like what I actually do in the ring and being able to translate it to other people, you know, being able to just like share the gospel and show people that if you really believe in yourself and you have faith, which comes from my belief in God, that you can like absolutely do anything you put your mind to, regardless of what people say. You know, you just have to have faith in the unknown and you'll get where you need to be.
I like that. Do you include any of that like in your pregame rituals?
Absolutely. I pray literally as soon as I walk in the ring, I'll kneel down in the corner, praying and warm up, even the night before, like just constantly. That's kind of what keeps me grounded, especially like people always ask me like, how do you not get like so like anxious or worked up? I mean, obviously you have nerves and stuff, like right. You feel your adrenaline pumping and whatnot, but just being able to pray and realize that at the end of the day, like it's God's will, not mine. And whatever the outcome is, I know that it's going to take me to where I need to be.
Okay. I like that. How many fights have you had recently?
I've had recently or like in total?
In total.
I've had 25 amateur fights.
25 amateur fights. And how has that been for you?
It's been good. I think in the beginning I did start winning a little bit. You know, as a novice fighter, you're fighting people who are on your level. Then once I turned open, so you become an open fighter after 10 fights. So you fight anyone who can have 10 to 100 fights or whatever. So off the bat, I turned open after having, I think, 6 fights. So I was fighting girls who were ranked number 1 in the nation, and I was just over here, little Amanda with like 5 fights, right? So I definitely got my fair share of getting my butt kicked here and there, you know. But you learn that at the end of the day, like, you don't take no for an answer. You just keep training, and I think that's got me to where I am now. And
so I'm kind of, you know, I enjoy watching boxing, but the back end of it I'm not too familiar with. So you said you do 10 fights. And then you go open. Okay. What is that? What's the difference? What does that mean?
So when you're an amateur, it starts off with your division, right? So depending on your age and your weight. So your age and your weight puts you in a weight class and your division. And then besides that fact, you go based off of how many fights you have. So novice fighters 10 and below. Okay. So like that's what you'll see like locally. It's a lot of novice fights, like people with 10 and below. You're fighting. If you have 1 fight, you're not going to fight anybody with more than 10 fights. That's how it makes it like fair play, you know?
Okay.
Then once you go open, those are your more fighters that have been around for a while. So you'll fight anybody with 80 fights and you barely have like 11.
Oh, and so it's from there, it's free range.
Yeah, it's free range. So that's how you know when someone like once you stick with it.
But does it always stay in the same weight class?
Yeah, so you stay in, so I fight at 106 or 101 and then my age too. So I'm considered an elite. amateur fighter.
So the age does matter.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So now that we talked a little bit off camera, right? And I said it in the beginning, your aspiration to go pro.
Yes.
Okay. Is that just because you've hit a certain point of fights, or is it that's what you really want to do?
I think both of it too, and then including my team on it too. You know, we've had talks about when we're ready to go pro, and I think that's very important. A lot of people just think like they get one accomplishment and they're just like, let's go pro, you know, but I think timing is essential. I think you as a person and like how you feel is important, you know, because I don't think I'd be ready to go if I wasn't mentally there already, you know. I think all the experience I've had going up to this moment, to this upcoming year where I do want to go pro, it just really prepared me like mentally, physically. I've been in certain fights that have been kind of mimicked being pro a little bit, so I think I'm ready, and my team as well.
Okay. And does your mentality change from this jump that you're making into going pro? Like, or is it the same routine? What's different about it?
I think mentally it's still kind of the same fight. You know, you're still, I mean, me at the end of the day, I give my all in everything I do. So I'm still going to train just as hard.
Yeah.
In and outside of the ring, you know, outside of the ring, probably like lock down a little bit more on stuff I can and can't do. But I think obviously my training regimen will pick up a little bit, but it's just going to be the same old me, just working a little bit harder with the stakes being higher.
And I'm sure that dieting and exercise and all that goes into it. What's the one thing about it all that you're kind of like, I have to lock in? Is there anything, or you love that?
Honestly, people don't believe me when I say this, but I really do love it all. You know, I think the reason I'm so perfect for this sport is because I don't think anything I have to do for it is a sacrifice. Like, I genuinely enjoy running. I love eating clean. I don't care to go out all the time on the weekends when I could be training. I don't mind getting up at 5 a.m. to train. It's because I know that I need to outwork the person. Not only the person, but myself. You know, I'm always trying to be a better me, and I have things I'm trying to prove and people I want to take care of. So I don't think there's anything that I'm upset about. I'm just looking forward to it all.
Okay. I did a few years back, okay? I don't want you to ask me to go 3 rounds after this, but years back I did a few, boxing lessons, and it was pretty easy, right? I hit a heavy bag, and then I hit a, one of those smaller bags, and then we went up to the top to do the speed bag, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of all it looked like for me. I did jump rope, I did abs, and then I went home.
Yeah.
Okay. What's it like? Tell me what it looks like for you when you come in and train. What's your routine?
Yeah, so like on a casual, come in and train. If it's not sparring day, I come in, either jump rope for a little bit to get warmed up, stretch, get in the ring, and shadow boxing is like the first thing that you really got to focus on. Shadow box for a good while, and then once you do that, put your wraps on, and then you get to whatever our coach writes on the board for us. So that'll be like the heavy bag, or we're always working on a certain something too. So you're not just mindlessly hitting the bag, It's actually working on combinations or certain things you need to work on that we saw in sparring. So you do some bag work, and then I usually like to hit the speed bag. So the speed bag, a little bit of conditioning after, and then push-ups and abs.
I want to break that down a little bit. Oh, there I go. We're sitting on the actual stools that they sit on after every round.
This is true.
these are legendary stools right here. I want to break that down a little bit. When you do shadow boxing, a handful of us have shadow boxed, right? You're just playing around or whatnot. But what do you think the importance of shadow boxing is? I don't know if I've ever asked that question.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't take shadow boxing as seriously as it needs to be, because at the end of the day, it's like how you shadow box is how you end up hitting the bag, is how you fight,
Yeah.
And for what my coach has taught me. So I think it's just one of those things, like, you do have to break down shadow boxing. Like, it goes from the footwork, besides when you're throwing punches, how you're throwing your punches, where you're turning, where you're ending up in the ring as, you're just casually walking around the ring. Like, all of that really matters.
And do you always do it in front of a mirror, or does it matter?
Not too much. I'll switch in between. Sometimes I'll do it in front of the mirror if, like, I'm really, like, want to see, like, if I'm fully extending a certain punch or whatever. But most of the time I'm in the ring because, that's where you spar and everything. So it's nice to be able to, like, not get too close to the ropes, or make sure, like, you're staying in the center and whatnot.
Yeah. And then let's go to the speed bag. I've tried it, right? Years ago, I picked it up, and I thought I was really good until somebody that actually boxed a lot, right, showed me out. I know it takes more than just, like, the technique. What is it behind it, the speed bag? Why is it so instilled in boxers?
Yeah, so I think the speed bag, well, to even start from, like, when I first learned, it was actually, like, my dad got on it so easy, and he was just did it, like, it had a nice beat and everything. We're back at our house because we have, like, a home gym. And I was like, oh, like, I want to try. And I saw him doing it. And I was like, oh, this is going to be, like, so easy. And I was easily humbled. It was so bad. And so every day I just kept going in there. Like, I'd wake up in the morning and I'd just go to the speed bag because I just wanted to be like my dad so bad.
It is fun, too, to hit a speed bag.
And it just looks so cool. I was like, oh, I want to be him.
And the beat, too. I like the way that it's up.
Yeah, and the way my dad used to do it was just, like, so good. So I would just being there every day. And at the end of the day, it comes down to rhythm. Mainly, number one, like, once you find, everyone has a different rhythm, you know. I think once you find your rhythm and then the speed of how you're rolling your arm, you know, and then just being able to, like, do different things with it. But I think it definitely, it takes a lot of, like, your shoulders. So I think being able to maintain your shoulders hurting while you're still, like, up in the air has a lot to do with, like, resistance training. And then just being able to keep the beat and the rhythm with your feet, too. You know, you don't want to just stand still and you're hitting the speed bag. You know, you want to have, like, a little rhythm with it.
So that it could translate once you're in the ring.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, just imagining what you've told me, I think I could do a little bit better. But that's just me imagining, right? It's different when I get up there and actually hit it. So this kind of conversation, right, at the end of it, it's us talking about your pro debut. One that, is there a date yet? No?
No, not yet.
No?
Not
early
yet.
next year, though?
Yeah,
think?
Early next year, for sure.
Okay. What is the most exciting thing about that?
I think just being able to gather all the people who have supported me throughout the years, you know, because as an amateur and especially as a female and at such a low weight class, I'm always fighting out of state. Like, it's rare that I fight here in Texas. So to be able to actually have everyone who truly supports me and has always been wanting to see me fight can actually see me fight. And I think it'll be nice to just have everybody in one place and just being able to witness it all.
And what do you think the biggest difference is going to be? Like, with a pro on a bout, on a card? Like, what's the biggest difference?
Probably no headgear. Because the headgear comes off.
Oh, okay.
So we're just all in the open now.
Testing the jaw now.
Yeah, the headgear comes off. The gloves get smaller. I don't think too much of the crowd will really get to me because I've been in spots where, like, I've dealt with big crowds and whatnot. And that honestly just gets me even more fired up to fight. I don't worry too much about what's going on the outside. It's what's on the inside, which is no headgear and smaller gloves.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so I wanted to ask, like, for people that don't know, because I don't know myself either, how do you get on a card? How do you get on a pro card?
Yeah, so it just it's up to your team at the end of the day. Like, when you live in a city, usually there's always local fights going on, so you'll hit up a promoter, whoever's putting on the fight, and you'll be like, hey, like, it's my pro debut, like, can I be on your card? And they'll be like, yeah, for sure. So they're the ones that find you a fight, or your coach finds you a girl or guy to fight or whatever, and then that's how you do it.
So you set it up. It's
yeah, and you just hit up a promoter and they get on a card.
And from that moment, it's like, okay, what crowd is behind you? Who's watching you fight? So then
from there, you sell your tickets and whatnot. You go to, if they have press conferences, you do a press conference. They call you up. You do a little face-off.
That's exciting.
Yeah, then you have weigh-ins. Same thing. You weigh in, do a little face-off. It's really popular here in San Antonio, so there's always pro shows going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like what you see on TV, you know, the fights that are happening.
It's literally the same thing, just on a smaller scale.
And I know this is a totally different sport, but UFC, no. Stay away from that?
No, not UFC. Yeah.
Okay, good. Just strictly up top, using your hands, gloves. Yeah. Okay, cool. So when you're in the ring, okay, what I assume, you have to be quick on your feet, right? You have to be ready for any punches that come your way, right? Can you agree?
Yes.
I wanted to play a game with you, okay? I have a game with every one of my guests, and this is going to test your quickness. Not on your feet. We're not going to stand up and spar, but mentally.
Okay.
Okay? So this game is called the knockout round. All right?
Okay.
This is how the game works. I'm going to read you questions rapid fire style, and you're going to answer to me the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
Pretty simple?
Yes.
Yes? All right. Let's do it.
Go.
Jab or cross?
Jab.
What's your favorite cheat meal?
Pizza.
What's your least favorite part about training?
Probably waking up super early.
Pre-fight hype song.
Ooh, that's hard. I would say anything 50 Cent.
Okay. Who's your favorite fighter to watch?
Either Gervonta Davis or Triple G.
Triple G. He hasn't. Okay, this is rapid fire. We'll go into it later. If you could box any celebrity, who would it be?
Sinisa Estrada.
Who?
Sinisa Estrada. She's a top woman at my weight class.
Hook or uppercut?
Hook.
If you could choose a superpower in the ring, what would it be?
to be able to like, if they threw a punch and I saw it, I'd be able to just like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fast enough.
Yeah.
If not a boxer, what sport would you be playing pro?
Ooh, probably swimming or basketball.
Okay. Those are totally different. And that's it. That's
Right.
the game. That's the game. What'd you think? That was it. You think we're going to go forever? No, that's it. Let's get into it, though. Who is the person you said, the celebrity?
Okay, so she's a celebrity, I guess you could say, but she's one of the top females at my
Fighters?
weight class. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She just retired recently, but she has all the belts at
Really?
my weight class.
And do those
So
belts,
So
she keeps them?
No, so now that she retired, they'll become vacant and they'll be spread out. So like the next upcoming contenders at the weight class I'm going to be at will get the title fight, and then you have to go and collect them all again.
Do they make new ones? Or she has to give up the ones that she...
No. You get. I think you keep your belt. Yeah.
Okay.
And then they give a new one out to whoever wins.
And 50 Cent, you said.
50 Cent.
When in your amateur fights, do you walk out to music? No.
Yeah.
You do?
Or I've 2 fights I've had because I was on. I was the only amateur on a pro card, so I was able to like go through the whole experience as a pro. But I stepped in the ring as like an amateur, and I walked out to "Home Sweet Home" because it was in Floresville by Motley Crue. Do you know that song?
Yeah.
That one was lit. And then the second one I walked out to Young Jeezy. It was dang, which one was it? It was some Young Jeezy song. I can't even remember right now.
Okay. I guess it wasn't that because you don't remember. You have to remember your walkout songs.
It? Soul Survivor. It was Soul Survivor.
Soul Survivor. Okay.
Choked, yeah.
But now 50 Cent. He just gets you in the mood.
Yeah, 50 Cent and Young Jeezy are literally like the playlist I have is just alternates
them two?
between both of them.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So, when we get into the change and your career, your short career, because I'm sure you have plenty of years to go, right? What have been kind of the biggest challenges that you've faced so far?
I think in the beginning of just boxing and whatnot, it was no one really goes to school and fights at the same time. So that was definitely like being a college student. More, I took full time, but like more that I would take like 5 or 6 classes sometimes, and then train on top of that, and then work and whatnot. So it was really hard trying to like go to tournaments and then at the same time doing finals all the way up until I had to fight, or just doing homework before I came into the gym. And like school is exhausting, like it really just is. So like I would be doing homework all day, and then I'd come and have to spar, and I'd have to like switch the gear and just be like, all right, like you're tired, but like sparring's what really is important right now.
And so then it's kind of shows your discipline to actually going into this. This is what you're gonna do. This is what you want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I've known that for a while. You know, it was just like everything I did leading up to it. It's like I wanted to be able to graduate. I wanted to get a first job, so like my resume was good because you know I'm not gonna box forever. But it was the fact that like I knew this is what I wanted to do, and I wasn't gonna let anything stop it. So like through all the adversity and hardships, like I would just push through it.
And looking into the future right now, like what's your goal? What's your end thing? Where do you want to get to?
I think the goal for me is obviously like a world champion. You know, I would love to become undisputed one day, and like the sky's the limit. I don't want to just stop there. I just want to be able to inspire female and anyone like all over, just that you can literally do whatever it is you want, no matter where you come from, how you look, like it literally does not matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want you to like for the fans that are watching out there and listening, give me some boxing lingo. Like when your trainer is in the corner, right, and the round just finishes, what's something that he's telling you in your ear?
Let me think, because they're always like, whether it's a good round or a bad round, you know. I think the thing that keeps me going too is when my coaches are like, you know, like you're supposed to be here, like you need to get in there, and like that other person doesn't want to be here as much as you, like this is your time, like right now, like you have this fight, you know, just get in there and like just do you and have fun with it. I think that's the main thing is when they're like, just get in there and have fun. Like this is the last round, like go get it.
And when you're in that corner, like what goes through your mind? Like after that long run and you're just throwing punches left to right, and
I'm just thinking about, most of the time I'm in shape, you know, so I'm not on the stool like dying, but I'm just thinking about that last round. I'll be like, damn, like was that a good round, you know? And because usually they don't have, unless it's nationals, but at nationals they'll have the scorecard, so it'll say who won the round. Okay. So I'll be like looking at my coaches, I'm like, who won the round? Won the round? And then if I won, they're like, all right, like you need to keep doing what you're doing, maybe like angle more to the right, like sit down on that right hand, this and that. But it's mainly like did I do good that round? Because you know, we do 3-minute rounds, so like 3
Like
minutes
that.
sounds like a long time, but it goes by like that.
Yeah,
So when you get in the corner, you're like, damn, I don't even remember what I just did. Like, was it good enough?
Yeah.
You know. So then I asked them like, yo, was that
And then
good?
you have punches to the head, so you're just trying to remember what the.
Yeah, no, literally. So I just go based off of what they tell me. You know, it's nice to have a good corner that I can rely on.
Yeah.
That I'm able to be like, do I keep doing what I'm doing?
Yeah. Shout them out. We're right now, obviously you can tell we're not in any regular place, right? We're inside a boxing ring where Amanda trains. What's this gym?
I train out of Pure Technique Boxing a little bit on Central West Side. My coaches are Coach Jeffrey Mays. He's a total badass, the 2020 Olympic coach. And then our assistant coach, Rihanna Rios. She's in my corner most of the time, and she's also a champion right now. She's ranked high up there for women's boxing, so y'all should check her out as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. That's good to know. Is in the pro fighting, when you make your pro debut, does the rounds change or it's the same thing?
No, it changes. So for females, it's 2-minute rounds. And then since it'll be my pro debut, it'll start off at 4 rounds. So it'll be 4 2-minute rounds.
Okay.
Which is way, in my opinion, way slower compared to 3 3-minute rounds. Because 3 minutes, you have more time to like think a little more. Not too much, but it is longer. But 2 minutes goes by like that.
Yeah.
Especially for me, I think it goes by like that.
So you're saying it's going to be slower or faster?
Faster. Yeah. Because it's 2 minutes.
Yeah.
That's
No. I did the math in my head. 8 minutes to 9 minutes. That's it.
It's different for me. And I've been, so whenever I did start fighting, I already started off as an elite fighter because I was too old to, there's like intermediate, youth, like there's different divisions. I started off at the top one.
Okay.
So meaning I could fight, once I went open, I could fight anybody that was like 30 years old. So I've been fighting 3-minute rounds, 3-minute rounds for basically my whole amateur career.
Is your technique, you think, is going to change? Attack quicker instead of kind of sitting back, or what do you think?
It'll actually be sitting back more because as an amateur, you just like, it's a point system. So anytime I tap you or I land like a clean shot, it's a point.
Okay.
Even if it's not like fully clear, like if
Right.
I hit you hard enough, it counts as a point. But in pros, it's all about clean blows. So say if I throw a shot and it's not hard, they're not going to count it. So it's more of relaxing a little more, being more on my feet and kind of just sitting down on the shots.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, hopefully, your future opponent, will not watch this. So careful how you answer this question. But who are you as a boxer? Like, what's your identity? Like,
For sure, I don't even think I would have to like hold back on anything because at the end of the day, like when you see me fight, it's pretty much, I think I'm able to adapt to anything. You know, I'm very quick, very skillful, and I just think no matter who's on the other side, like I also don't give up. So like I'll adapt to anything. Like if you're gonna hit hard, I'm gonna hit harder. If you're gonna be quick, I'm gonna be quicker. Like it's just how it is.
And at your weight class, you feel those punches? Like y'all have some power, right?
For sure. I don't think anyone should take away anything from the small weight classes.
No.
You know, the girls are mightier. They do not go down easy. Like I say this all the time. I've always said this. Like don't underestimate a little girl because I've hit some girls really hard before and they just keep going back. And I'm like, they won't go down. Like little girls do not go down.
Yeah. That's exciting.
Yeah.
No, I really enjoy to somebody right now that who do you think you would compare your fighting style to right now? Or is it Amanda?
I would say just Amanda because at the end of the day, like everyone has their own style. Everyone develops skill a different way. And I think my skill and my style is just me. You know, I hope people remember me for being me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, I want to learn more about the actual sport itself. Obviously, those that are watching might know, you know, combination, jab, hook, cross, uppercut, whatever. But what about boxing, the style in it is kind of excites you? Or people that are here, why do people come to box?
Yeah, I think boxing in general is just one of those things, like just being able to hit something, people like can release all this tension, anger.
I will walk out if just please don't use that right now. Okay.
Never. I'm like they will use.
No. Okay. These mics are powerful.
I think people genuinely like just get a thrill out of hitting something hard and being able like it. I think it gives you this kind of sense of empowerment. Like say if you were to get in there and you hit the bag and I'm teaching you all these things and you're like, damn, like I'm actually like after a couple of days like I got the gist of this, you know. And I think just being able to like hit something and put a little purpose behind it gives people this sense of power, like they feel,
What translates like into your real life outside of boxing? I know that I mentioned it earlier, right? Sports always or almost always it translates into the real world, your dedication, your skills, all that. What has it been for you?
I think a sense of just gratitude and thankfulness, because like I've always told people, like I feel like I'm so blessed to find what I want in this life at such a young age, you know, in my 20s, and being able to be so passionate about something and be so fired up, and just being able to, like, one day I just want to take care of my family and just thank them for everything they've done for me. You know, my family has, not only have I sacrificed so much, but my family has sacrificed so much. So it's just to be able to do what I love and show others, you know, that you can do whatever it is you love and pay back in the future. I
really like that. Yeah. I really do. I think all the time it's the support of our family. I mean, at the end of the day, that's the biggest thing that a lot of people have. Yeah. And there's some people out there that don't have it, right? But us that we do, you know, we're very blessed in that matter. Yes, for sure.
Absolutely. And I definitely don't, I used to feel so like I couldn't say out loud that, like, yeah, my parents support me for everything, because there's people, like you said, who don't have the family or the support, or just people around them who like encourage them to do what they love. But it's the fact that, like, I took advantage of that, you know, like my dad and my parents gave up so many of their dreams just so I could have mine. Yeah. So I just want to be able to, like, fully take all that in and be able to, like, show them that, you know, you didn't waste anything on me. Like, I'm going to do what I do.
So when you make your way, right, and you fight and you're in a title match and you're about to win a belt, who's going to be the one to put that belt on you? I know it's maybe the promoter, right? Yeah. But besides that, who's the first person that you're like, wrap that belt around my waist?
Definitely my coaches. You know, they're the ones. I think the coaches I have now, Rihanna Rios and Jeffrey Mays, are the first coaches I probably had ever in any sport that have truly believed in me and have been the reason why I've stuck with it, you know, because all it takes, I played all kinds of sport, and all it takes is one coach to discourage you. Like, I think we've all been there, you know, middle school, high school, you have that one coach that just discourages you. And I think having people who really care for you in the corner, and they're just like, no, like, you're meant to be here, like, we see potential in you, like, you can go far. So I think just having them, they're the ones that are, besides like my parents always being there for me, they're the ones that are in the gym day in, day out. They're the ones who see me cry, see me struggle, see me win, lose. Like, they're going to be the ones who wrap that belt around me.
The sacrifice that they put in it.
Absolutely. You know, they don't do this for the belt or the money. Like, they do this because they love it. And it just makes the perfect team. We're the dream team.
Heck yeah. Is that what y'all call each other?
Yeah, we're the dream team.
Okay. All right. The dream team. That's how y'all are going to walk out. The dream team. That's a good ring to it. Yeah. But it's been used already.
No, it has not.
The dream team, the Olympic team.
Not in boxing, no.
Okay. Oh, so I have a fellow Laredoan. I'm from Laredo. Jennifer. She made her way to the Olympics this past Olympics, and she fought super prideful. She killed it, and that was just kind of like, wow, you know, super empowering. Not only to females, but to everybody. Yeah. Like, I want to know you're going to empower a lot of people, right? Just being in the sport, being who you are, the people that watch you fight. Like, what message do you have for those people that are watching you, watching your steps, your downs and your ups? Like, what message do you have to those people?
I think it's as simple as that, as just no matter literally where you come from, because people can come from low places, high places. Like, if you came from money with family, no money. I think it depends on, like, who you surround yourself with, where your head is at, like, where you're grounded at. Are you spiritually? Even if you're not, like, you need to know that there's faith in the unknown, and that no matter what anybody says of how you look, you're not going to be good just because you start from down here. Like, hard work, discipline, and dedication will literally get you there.
Is that, I wanted to ask you this earlier in the rapid fire. I totally forgot. No, I didn't forget. I just didn't write it down. But what do you think is most important? Is it your skill, or is it your dedication? Like, in this sport specifically?
That's actually a really good question, because I feel like dedication, I would say skill, just because, like, even if someone's more dedicated than you, if you're really skillful, you can still win just by being skillful. Like, you really don't even have to, like, the sport isn't as complicated as people make it. You know, like, if you're super skilled, I can just sit on the outside and box you all day. And if someone's dedicated, you're going to go in mindlessly. You're going to go in swinging all kinds of places. You're just gonna head forward. Someone can just uppercut you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to have a game plan at the end of the day. So even if you're dedicated, if you don't have a game plan, if you didn't have a good training regimen, if you didn't plan properly, it's like you're not gonna win.
Easy to say that both is better, right?
Right.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Well, Amanda, thank you so much for coming out with me. Well, actually, no, I came to you.
Of course.
Allowing me to be in your ring where your blood, sweat, and tears is most of the time. Yeah. I think I have some on my shoe down here. But super appreciative of getting this time to get to know you a little bit more. Give the people one last thing about you. You know, hype yourself up. You're about a pro debut in a few months. Like, hype yourself up.
Thank you again for having me. I appreciate it. This was fun. Thank you for coming down to my gym, being in the ring where I do everything I do. Once again, I'm a 2-time national champ. I'm super excited to go pro. And if y'all follow my journey, you'll probably see me on TV one day. So stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned. I'll be sure to input your tag so that people can continue your story. And hopefully we have everybody out there for your pro debut, right?
Yeah.
Where do you think that's going to be?
In San Antonio for sure.
You think so?
Yeah.
Where the family's
Hometown,
at.
everyone's here.
The gym, everybody.
Yep.
Heck yeah. Well, we'll be looking out for that. And again, thank you so much. And we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you.